Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be teaching you all about meiosis. Got myself this nice little poster here that I've drawn. According to Howard Gardner's Principles of Multiple Intelligences, it's good to draw it out. Thank you, Professor Adams, for helping us out with that a little bit. This was a fun little activity. So meiosis, I'm going to talk about the process of creating sex cells, sperms and eggs, ovaries, and the testicles. We'll look at what happens in each phase, what occurs, what the end results are, and then meiosis versus mitosis, kind of at the end a little bit. So meiosis makes gametes, and I'm probably pronouncing these words wrong, or reproductive cells. And so without this, every generation would have double the chromosomes, which I don't think would be super great. So that helps with genetic variation. So the phases of meiosis, here, we've got the reduction phase. So in prophase 1, got the P here, this is the PMAT. In prophase 1, chromosomes pair up with their matching partners, called homologous chromosomes, and exchange DNA that's crossing over. So in metaphase 1, the pairs line up in the middle of the cell. In anaphase 1, the pairs separate and move apart, and then in telophase 1, the cells split into two new cells, each with half the chromosomes. So this is what happens here. You've got this, and then it splits down. So this is meiosis 1, splits down into here. You can see there's some genetic variation. Okay, so in meiosis 2, which is these two, splits down again. It's prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase 2. So it's just that PMAT, number 2. So in prophase is where the second division begins. Metaphase 2, the chromosomes line up again. Then in anaphase 2, the sister chromatids separate. So that's what's different this time. So sister chromatids separate, and then 4 new cells are created, which are genetically unique from each other. So all 4 of these are genetically unique. So meiosis happens only in the reproductive organs, the ovaries and the testes. So meiosis occurs, sorry, I needed to orient myself. Meiosis occurs in the ovaries to make eggs, and then it also occurs in the testicles to make sperm. And so in the rest of the body, they don't use meiosis. That's what makes it a little different. It doesn't happen in like the other body cells, like in skin or muscle, that they use mitosis. Okay, so talking about the 4 haploid cells, uno, dos, tres, cuatro here, they each have half the number of chromosomes, keeping genetic variation and a balance. So for humans, that's 23 instead of 46. So we can see if it would split down. When sperm and egg unite, the chromosome number goes back to normal. So basically, we're just not doubling every time. See, so it splits and there's variation, but then when it all comes back together, there's a new variant. So up here, I've got a little grid, little table talking about the meiosis versus mitosis and the differences. So meiosis is how life keeps genetic information balanced and diverse. Hence what we've just gone through, that now there's some genetic variation, then bring it together and it's not just the same chromosomes every single time and they're doubling. Meiosis makes sex cells for reproduction. Mitosis has 1 division. Let me just go through it here. I've got my notes here. So here are the features. We have mitosis versus the meiosis here. So here's their purposes. So I'm gonna make sure I'm in the camera here. The purpose here for mitosis is growth. For meiosis is to create/make sex cells. The divisions in mitosis, there's only 1 division. So just 1 down to 2. In meiosis, there's 2 divisions. So it goes down and then it goes down again to the 4. And what that does is in the amount of cells produced, mitosis creates 2 identical cells. So that's a big difference. In mitosis, it splits to 2 identical cells. And in meiosis, it splits down to 4 unique cells. And then the ploidy level, it starts as a diploid up here, and then gets all the way down to a haploid. So these are the 4 haploids, and then there's the 1 diploid up there, and it splits down into it. I hope that this was helpful. This was kind of fun to learn and definitely required more engagement from my end. So that was very fun. And I hope you learned a little something about meiosis/mitosis today.